Example 6, if a car travels 1,800 feet in 24 seconds, what's its average linear speed in miles per hour? Okay, so let's take a look at the words average linear speed. Linear speed just means speed in a straight line. And average linear speed, let's just put S bar to represent what average linear speed is. You take how far you went, divide by how long it took, that's your average linear speed. Okay. If you're sitting in a car, driving in a car down the highway, and you see the speedometer that says 65, you're going 65 miles per hour at that moment in time, right? But then you get to a town and you get to stop, or a traffic light, you stop, and then you speed back up. Maybe you hit a 35-mile-an-hour zone, maybe you hit a 45-mile-an-hour zone, and so on and so forth. So your speed changes throughout the trip. But if you went from point A to point B and you went 10 miles and it took you half an hour to get there, you average 20 miles an hour. All right, so that's just how average linear speed works out. So to answer the question of average linear speed, we need to know two things. How far did we go? How long did it take? Now we want to use the units they give us also. So in this case, how far we went is 1,800 feet. 1,800 feet is the distance the car traveled. How long it took to travel that far was 24 seconds. And it's very important when you're trying to find average linear speed, include the units in your work to create a unit on your answer that represents what the unit is. They may ask you to convert to a different unit. All right, so first thing I want to do is get the answer. So if I divide 1,800 by 24, turn my highlighter off. 1,800 divided by 24 comes out to 75. So this car is traveling at a speed of 75, did it say 75? Yeah, 75 feet per second. And if it says, what's the average linear speed of the car? Done. Because that's the average linear speed of the car. But then they go on to say, average linear speed of the car in miles per hour. That's what they usually do. They'll ask for the units to match the units they want, and they may not give you those units in the problem. So they gave me feet in seconds. I got a feet per second answer, but I want a miles per hour answer, so now I have to do some unit conversion. And facts about feet and miles that we should know, but hopefully we've used them enough that we know them. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Usual technique for getting units converted. The unit of foot is on top. I want to put the unit of foot on the bottom for cancellation. I want to make sure the two values in this fraction are equivalent to one another. 1 mile and 5,200 feet are the same distance. I happen to have the exact unit I'm looking for on top, which is miles, which is great. Sometimes you have to step it through a couple conversions to make it happen. So feet cancel feet. Now I'm in miles, so now I've got miles per second. I want miles per hour. The next fact I'm going to use is about time, and we know that 1 hour equals 3,600 seconds. Or if you didn't know that, you at least know 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. You can step it off over a couple. But 1 hour does equal 3,600 seconds. Currently, seconds resides in the denominator, so I want to put seconds in the numerator and hours in the denominator. 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. And just like good old unit conversion does every time we do it right, the unit we have on one side, on the other side cancel. And now we're left with miles per hour, which is what we want. Everything on top multiplies everything on the bottom divides. So to get my answer in the correct unit, I'm going to do 75 times 3,600 divided by 5,280. 51.14 miles per hour. You can put MPH if you want to, it means the same thing. The order in which you do this, like I could have done 75 divided by 5,280 times 3,600. As long as you hit a divided by before every bottom number and a times before every top number, you're going to get the right answer on your calculator. Just don't, I've seen people say, like they'll say there's several numbers to divide, they'll say divided by this, times this, times this. Your calculator see times it, it's going to put it back on top. So divided by before every bottom number, times before every top number if you're not going to evaluate the top and bottom separately. All right. So average linear speed, you're responsible for knowing how to find that. How far did you go? How long did it take? And again, usually involves unit conversion at the end. So make sure that you are up on converting units properly.